Hi, I'm Natalie from Taste Lovely, and I'm going to take you on a tour of our house, which is so interesting because it is only 700 square feet for our family of 4. You're looking at pretty much the entire house from right here. Over here we have our kitchen. Back there we have the 2 bedrooms, our bathroom, and our little laundry nook. And then in here we have our living room and our dining room. If you watched my last house tour video, you'll notice that we've updated the counters and the backsplash and the floor since then. You can see I don't have a ton of storage space. These aren't even real drawers. I only have 4 drawers in my entire kitchen, but they're all really organized so I can fit everything that I need. This island cart right here is where I photograph and we film every recipe video and recipe photo on the blog. I love this window, has the perfect amount of light, and this surface area is exactly what I need. To maximize the amount of storage that I have, I store things up here above the cabinet. Before I used to have it be a lot of mismatched kitchen gadgets, but I changed it to everything white and added in these plants. I think it makes the room look a lot cleaner. At the bottom of this island cart is all of my cookware. You can see there's not a ton, but everything here is stuff that I use all the time. If I don't use it a lot, it's not in the house. I also have my 2 most used kitchen gadgets, which is my Instant Pot and my food processor. The last cool kitchen upgrade we did here is I had Shawn add in this cabinet above the fridge before there was nothing. And up here, he put in these pull-out racks so I can organize all of my roasting sheets and cutting boards and muffin pans. It's given me so much extra storage. This is our living room. One change we just made is we just added in these hardwood floors, which I love. Before, the living room and the rest of the house had carpet and the kitchen had linoleum. You can imagine how stained these carpets were with 2 little boys. But after putting in these hardwood floors, it made the whole house feel bigger, plus it's so much easier to keep clean. This dresser is where we keep all of the kids' toys. We keep them in the drawers. We keep them locked so they can't climb in the drawers and fall. But we have them all organized in bins for the boys to play with. And it's great because when they go to bed at the end of the night, all the toys go back in there. They all have a place. Here we have our couch where we spend a lot of our time. You can see we don't have a coffee table. I wanted to keep this area open so the kids have a lot of room to play and for us to get down and play with them too. Over here, we finally decorated this wall. I did some floating shelves with framed pictures of our family, and then I did little votive candles and little succulents. And then I love this picture here is of Mount Diablo, which is the big mountain here where we live, so it has special meaning to us. We try to maximize as much storage as we can possibly do. So here I found this dresser. It's actually meant for shoes. You can open it up and put your shoes in here, but we're using it for toy storage. So you can see that Shawn stapled sheets behind here so the toys can't fall down. So the boys have different toys here organized. And I couldn't believe how perfect it fit in this wall. It's almost like it was custom made for this room. Over here we have Shawn's desk. This computer is where every recipe video on my site is edited by him. This is our bookshelf. I've got these black magazine files to hold all of our papers and bills and receipts, things like that. I like the magazine files because it makes it look really clean and organized. And then over here we have our little dining area. You can see there's just 3 chairs right now, but when we all sit, we grab the chair from Shawn's desk and we all fit perfect. I love these high chairs that strap right onto the chairs. It gives the room a really clean look and looks a lot better than a big separate high chair. Now we'll head to this end of the house. First, here is my pantry. We keep it locked so the boys can't go in there and climb around like they want to. You can see it's not very big, but by using storage containers, I can keep it really organized and fit everything that I need. Down this hallway is our bathroom. But first, you can see where we put our washer and dryer. I can't even believe how perfect they fit back here. We have them stacked. The best part is when you open the door, you can't even see them. In here we have our bathroom, and as you can see, teeny tiny. If there's one room in the house I wish we had a little more space, it was the bathroom. This can feel a little crowded at bath time, but we make it work. We added these shelves for a little more storage. We have the towels, then up here we have the storage bins. And then I love this little rack that Shawn made me for my birthday to hold all my essential oils. It's so cute. Here at the end of the hallway, we have this shoe dresser where Shawn and I keep all of our shoes. Luckily, we don't have a ton of shoes, so we can get them all to fit in here. In here, we have the boys' room. Here we have their 2 beds that fit perfect with this big dresser. I'm able to fit all of their clothes in this dresser, and it's also our changing table because I have this changing pad on there. One of the keys to living small is being really organized. One thing that I love are these little storage containers that I got to organize all of their clothes, and I can fit everything in here. This wall over here is the perfect example of how we've maximized our storage space. So this dresser right here is actually a shoe bin. It's meant to be a shoe bin, but we use it as a laundry hamper. So in the top up here, we put all their dirty clothes. Down here, I have extra sheets and blankets. Up here, I have a majority of their books. But down here, I have these bookshelves right at their level. I change out these books every week or two so that they're always interesting to them. And plus, I don't have to pick them up off the floor as often when they drop them. Up here, Shawn put in a coat rack for them to hang their little coats. And up here, we have some more little storage bins where they keep their art supplies and coloring. And then on top, we store the boys' shoes. Last, this is our room. We're right across the hall from the boys. I love being that close to them. And as you can see, not the biggest room, but with some creative storage solutions, we've gotten everything we need to fit in here. Over here, we have our closet. When we moved in, it had glass mirror doors, which with little boys is not gonna work, cleaning those fingerprints all the time. So we took the doors off, so now you can see our clothes. So I try to keep it really organized since it's something we look at. You can see I have it organized by color. One of the things that I like about my closet is every piece of clothing in here fits me and it's something that I love. So I don't have a ton of clothes, but everything I have is something that I'm gonna wear. And you can see that Shawn really likes flannel. He has a ton of flannel shirts. Our bedside tables are a little bigger, which I like because it gives us even more storage in the drawers, and I try to keep the surfaces really clear. I don't want it to look too cluttered in this small room. A cool thing about our bed is underneath the bed are storage drawers. This is where Shawn and I keep a lot of our folded clothes. So down here, Shawn has all of his jeans and work shirts and white tees, which he wears a lot of white tees. Both of these dressers are actually meant for shoes, but we hacked it and we use them to store our clothes. So in here, I have like our socks and underwear are organized in these drawers. And then over here, we use this one for our laundry. So the top one is for all of our darks and colors, and the bottom is for our whites. Through this door is the only way to our backyard, and we're really lucky to have the amount of outdoor space that we have. Here is our backyard. It is the perfect amount of space that we need. I actually like the size of it because it's easy for me to keep an eye on the boys, and we have room for their favorite toys like their roller coaster, and they like to ride their bikes around out here. And the other fun part is we converted the hill next to our backyard into the chicken coop. So we have 10 chickens. The chickens are great because they're such an easy pet. The kids love helping out and getting little responsibility and chores, filling up their food and water. They like to play with the chickens. Josh can even pick them up. It's so funny how good and gentle they are. And the best part is getting the fresh eggs every day. It's the boys' favorite thing. As soon as Shawn comes home, they love to go check for the eggs and collect them and bring them in. When it's warm out, we'll get 7 to 10 eggs a day. It's the best. Just so you don't think we don't have any stuff, we definitely do. This house, when we moved in, didn't have a garage, so Shawn, my dad, and my brother-in-law built this whole, we call it the shop. They built it in a weekend, and it's so nice. This is where we're able to keep all of our extra stuff that we don't need in the house all the time. So here we have like all the extra kids' clothes and toys and our camping gear and all of Shawn's papers from when he was in elementary school that he insists on holding on to all these years later. But having this area makes it a lot easier to live small in the house. So that is the tour of our tiny house. I hope it was fun to see, and maybe you learned some creative storage solutions that you can use in your house, which I bet now your house feels like a huge mansion compared to this.